Alrighty, please align your body. Connecting well, connecting completely, totally, with the most important guru, siddha of all, the guru within ourselves. Clad in these three different bodies: physical, astral, causal. Completely natural, grounded, peaceful, loaded with love, completely clear. The Guru in each one of us, the Master, pure being, a radiant being. Our own pure nature, our own so-called enlightened nature, without perceptual distortions, without psychological distortions. Shining, radiant, like the sun in the sky, like stars. So always remember that there is this fully awakened, fully enlightened, complete Buddha, Siddha, Mahasiddha, immortal, already in each one of us. Remember, have faith in that, faith based on this experience that we're having now, faith coming from repeated recognition, meaning practice. Have faith in that fact, especially when it gets rough. When the sun gets clouded, whether it's fluffy, harmless white clouds, mildly gray clouds, or if it's thunder clouds. And no matter how distorted things get, how painful, how confusing, how lost, how off center you momentarily might feel, remind yourself that there is this pure being in you, and that these distortions coming up, rough patches, is actually a good sign. Sometimes they are absolutely awful, brutal, dark nights, but they are sign that practices are working. And you simply sit with your body, you sit through those thunderstorms. With your body, you take those blows. With the mass of your physical body. So we all have this pure nature, radiant nature, and so does everybody else and everything else. Animate, inanimate forms of life and expressions of life. From a tiny grain of sand all flora and fauna, plant life, things of nature, animals, human beings, to all things. That's the reality, absolute reality. When we are deluded and tied or squeezed into a knot, K-N-O-T, we are isolated and our thoughts are accordingly. Because of this isolation, we will feel fear, anxiety, and so on. But this Buddha, Siddha, pure being, our basic nature, our basic nature. How do we feel about other people around us from that recognition? From that heart, from that mind, with that body. Automatically, as we become more and more aware of who we truly are, what we truly are, we start expressing it in thoughts, in words, through actions, isn't it? But it doesn't mean that, as you know, enlightenment, getting enlightened, doesn't happen overnight. It is work, and it is hard work. Nevertheless, effective work has results and signs. And expressing oneself in a more understanding, loving, compassionate, still having the ability to discriminate, is a sign of that, sign of successful practice. So this is the starting point, understanding and knowing and remembering and having faith in the fact that we have this pure nature. No matter who we are, what we've done, what has been done to us, how life has treated us, we have that pure nature. But then, it is also a fact that samsaric beings are samsaric beings. That we have perceptual distortions, meaning we have sense of self, this entity, self-entity that we believe is there, which is a delusion. And there are also traumas, psychological traumas. And especially if it's complex or developmental trauma, then it is all over the place. It is all over the place. It distorts thoughts, reactions, very little or a lot. Sometimes none, sometimes distortion doesn't happen, but it is there a lot if you have complex trauma. Like I said, it's all over the place. Taking the form of low self-esteem, underlying shame, underlying guilt, um, just being pissed off, meaning that there's anger and rage. Being anxious, social anxiety is so common. Anxiety in relation to other people related trauma. And then what often happens is that over years we develop coping strategies, which is perfectly fine to have coping strategies to get through the day, to not be overwhelmed, to not be bulldozed in every social situations, and so on. But that's exactly the ground of, or the path of healing, and that's the ground of the light body. When we heal and remove those traumas and the deep negativity, the devastating negativity that comes with it, then the meridian system has only pure energy flowing, radiating through it. Pure light. The light is pure. The light that I'm talking about is vital energy. And when it is no longer distorted by these negative emotions, low self-esteem, shame, guilt, and so on, it's in its natural radiance. You could even maybe say that having a light body is simply being 100% healthy, psychologically healthy. The term rainbow body, light body, immortality, it's a bit tricky because there is so much fluff, weird ideas, and sheer nonsense connected to that term, associated with the term, just like with the term enlightenment. But to be clear, it is about revealing our own basic nature that we already have, like has been done by countless men and women before us and after us, fortunately also with us. And many of those men and women who have done so, there's been so many that it's impossible to know all of them throughout history who have attained it. But they are called in yogic traditions Mahasiddhas, or immortals. Greatly attained, greatly perfected, completely perfected. Completely healed, you could say. Completely healed and completely freed from delusion. That's it. No, nothing to do with magic, mystical stuff, high flying stuff. Nothing to do. Everything to do with our physical bodies. These bodies. The heart we have here. The mind we have here, up here in the head. Everything to do with our body-mind. But because we understand that self-delusion and trauma sits very deep in the body, is why we turn to those male masters and female masters who have actually gone through the same process and graduated. We turn to them for help. We turn to Mahasiddhas, immortals, for help. Because it is very useful to do. You are actually, when we invite masters to be with us, we are in the presence, in the company of somebody who's finished it. And this is also a completely down-to-earth experience. If we are lucky, if humanity is lucky, there are Mahasiddhas in the physical body, being able to give that support through physical presence. In Amrita Mandala, this is our future. We will have people, men and women, in near future who have accomplished the same. But to have a path and practices, we have practiced this turning to Mahasiddhas through Guru Yoga since 16 years ago when I started teaching. Because you are in the presence and you can feel and you can be blessed and receive a transmission one-on-one, first-hand, from somebody who's been through it all. It's a staple practice in all meditative, spiritual, contemplative traditions. Staple practice, known by different names. In yoga we speak of Guru Yoga. So this week I think we will mainly practice Guru Yoga with Sri Krishna, who is probably the most well-known of all Hindu gurus of all times. Very famous Sri Krishna. But before turning to Krishna, let's take a moment to pray and bow and prostrate at the feet of the so-called Amrita Gurus, or who I call Amrita Gurus, who are the main gurus in Amrita Mandala. There is the Mahasiddha family, which is a larger group of Mahasiddhas, and within that family there is this smaller group who are more central to our paths. So, starting with Karab Dorje. Bowing, prostrating at the feet of Karab Dorje. Bowing, prostrating at the feet of Manjushri Mitra, who is Karab Dorje's main disciple and heir. Manjushri Mitra. bowing and prostrating at the feet of Guru Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche, Guru Pema. And then Lady Yeshe Tsogyal, Yeshe Ma, bowing, prostrating at her feet. And then bowing and prostrating at the feet of Padampa Sangye, who is Guru Padmasambhava's later reincarnation, Dampa Sangye. Bowing, prostrating at the feet of Lady Machik Labdron, Dampa Sangye's primary disciple, latter reincarnation of Yeshe Chogyal. Machik Ma. And then hopping to the Hindu side of things, much more ancient Dharma, bowing and prostrating at the feet of Mahaguru Agastya, Agastya the Great. And then Agastya's disciple, master on her own right, Lopamudra, bowing, prostrating at her feet. And then bowing, prostrating at the feet of Nandinath, Agastya's main disciple, Nandi, bowing and prostrating. And then bowing and prostrating at the feet of one of Nandi's disciples, Tirumular, Mahasiddha Tirumular. After Mularji, bowing and prostrating at the feet of Babaji. And then Babaji's disciple, companion, master on her own right, Mataji, bowing and prostrating at the feet of Mataji. And then from Mataji, hopping to Mahasiddha called Maranatha, Kashmiri Nath Master, Maranatha, bowing and prostrating at Maranatha's holy feet. And after Maranath, his disciple, the most famous Mahasiddha in the whole world, Ishanath, Jesus, bowing and prostrating at the feet of Isha. And then finally, after these dozen or so close gurus, we come to Krishna and Radha. Sometimes we sing the mantra Om Amrita Gurubhyo Namaha. Gurubhyo, Om Amrita Gurubhyo Namaha. It refers to this group of close gurus that also include Krishna and Radha. So, with love. And now we're not gonna just go fast through Krishna and Radha, but really take our time, really enjoy and take it all in. So bowing and prostrating at the feet of Krishna, Shri Krishna. With a prayer to enliven, to resuscitate our frozen hearts, to heal our deep traumas and superficial traumas altogether. With this sincere wish of blessings, we bow at your feet. Offer ourselves, surrender ourselves. Krishna, 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 Krishna. always keep inviting the Guru, taking in the Guru into your body, into your heart, into your being, until it completely swallows you. Completely. Now, after it's been a while, after the initial peak of the charge, of Krishna's charge, and especially, if you feel into your body, you probably feel, especially now that it's the first evening of the retreat and we've spent the day busy. Some of us have traveled today, so you might be very tired and have a jet lag. Especially because of that, you can probably feel that the charge isn't really felt in the physical tissues. It's there in the body, but it's not fully with the physical tissues. Maybe you can notice that. So now when the peak of the charge has gone, let's first do a little bit of Krishna's mantra chanting, just to get a feel for the mantra. And then we will do rubbing for 5 to 10 minutes, chanting the mantra silently. Helena, can you close that? So chanting we do in this case to make the physical tissues vibrate. So they start physically vibrating with Krishna's energy. I'll start with 2. Join me then. We'll chant for just a couple of minutes. Om Amrita Krishnaya Namaha. 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 See the difference? So now the charge already gets much more to the physical cells, physical tissues. And then we just make it complete with rubbing. So for the next 5 minutes, rubbing doesn't mean like rubbing just the skin, but the soft tissues here, like really making the muscles and the whole layer of the skin, really putting friction in there, really squeezing, really rubbing. So in your mind, you can mentally chant Krishna, 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 or the mantra that we chanted, and just rub Krishna's presence into your physical tissues. From head to toe, ideally all areas of the body. Yeah? Okay, begin. 5 to 10 minutes. Sitting, standing, whatever posture suits you best. So there is no hurry. You can go through the body in detail. Face, eyes, temple, scalp, ears, cheeks, lips, even gums you can massage through the cheeks. fingers, ei aukaista sitä ikkunaa, vaan tämä. Sieltä tulee niin paljon isompi kohina. One, 2 minutes. Then when you're done, sit down. then see how it feels. Still together with Krishna, but it feels, his Shakti feels different, isn't it? Very different. It's like his Shakti gets through, goes through all three bodies. Doesn't get stuck in just the meridian system like it was before the singing and rubbing. And it is this getting through, going through our bodies, all three, with Shakti, our own, borrowed from gurus, or generated through deities, that we need to do in order to reveal the triple enlightened body: causal, astral, physical. Also something that trauma does, I've heard, we've spoken with Helena and Kedar, with Nataraj, Chris, within today and yesterday, and I've heard it many times before that, when trauma paralyzes, we know that, through anxiety, through fear, through depression, trauma paralyzes people because it grabs a hold of our vitality and it stays like that. So it makes us paralyzed, makes us very tired, exhausted, even if we don't do anything. But especially when we practice and we start digging into the trauma, the same happens pronouncedly. Is that a word? Like it happens, how do you say that? More. But when we rub, when we chant, when we might dance, keep the body in move, remove those factors that would otherwise paralyze you, changes everything. Still with Krishna, connect the pillar below the body. All the way to the lower end of it. Don't just look at the end from distance, but with your attention go and touch. Feel the touch. That's very important. If necessary, you can use some imagination, like descending down a ladder to the bottom of the well that is 5-6 meters deep, or diving down to water 5-6 meter deep to the bottom of a pond or a lake. Or you can just feel where the Mahasiddha Bhumi chakras are and make sure that you touch them, you make a connection. And when you do, you will feel it. Joy rises from the earth, figuratively speaking, from the earth. Joy rises to the heart from below. Feel the connection. And then same with Krishna, with love, with joy, connect the pillar above. And again, make sure that you touch the upper end. You can think of how my teacher Sivakami, how she taught is that she grouped those 7 centers above the head and below the body into 2 main chakras. So how she taught is that she grouped Bhumi chakras 7, 8, 9, 10 into one, and 11, 12, 13 into one. So connect with that 11, 12, 13 together. You don't need to kind of look or perceive them separately, just as a one bundle, one star if you like. And feel the connection. All right, so let's continue. We still have a bit of time. Let's do a breathing practice together. So inhaling Om Amrita, exhaling Krishnaya Namaha. Or you can inhale Krishna Krishna, exhale Krishna Krishna. So let's inhale from the pillar below, at the lower end, inhaling it. First we do 5 in the belly, then 5 in the heart, then 5 in the head. So when I say gut, for example, you inhale from the lowest point up, 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 up to the gut, and then you exhale from the gut into the whole body. And then you do that 5 times, from the lowest point to the gut, to the belly, inside the belly, and from the belly expand into the whole body with exhalation. That 5 times, then 5 times to the heart, inhaling up to the heart, expanding from the heart to the whole body, and then 5 with the head. Okay? So you can let your attention descend down, and then inhale deeply, bring attention up to the gut, expand Krishnaya Namaha. Inhale, exhale. Slow, deep breaths. Put some joy and love into it. One more to the gut. Next inhalation from below higher to the heart. Radiating to the head, to the arms, to the torso, to the legs from heart. New inhalation from below. Couple more. The next inhalation all the way up to the head. And expanding inside the head and down towards the body, inside the limbs, inside torso. Five, six, 7 times. One, two more. Then sit without doing anything for a moment. And then we'll do the same thing in reverse order with the pillar above. So with inhalation, with the first half of the mantra, inhaling from the Mahasiddha Bhumis, first to head 5, 6, 7 times, then to heart 5, 6, 7 times, then to the gut 5, 6, 7 times. Please begin. One, two more in the head. Next inhalation lower to the heart. And expanding from the heart. Few more, couple more. and then down to the gut. One, two more. And then you can leave it. gratitude from our hearts to Sri Krishna, Krishna ji. We didn't yet get to invite the blessings of Radha, but bows and prostrations to her as well, to Radha. Bows and prostrations to Amrita Gurus. Bows and prostrations to Mahasiddha family. Bows and prostrations to all beings. May all beings be free. May all beings get the benefits from our practice. Let's sing Lokaha mantra 3 times together. Inhale. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Palm to palm. Yeah.